we've got a constitutional scholar as president. Strikes me, he might benefit, we might benefit if he actually reads the Constitution every now and then. This president graduated from some of the best schools in the country. If I were him, and if he would like some free advice, if I were him, I'd consider suing Harvard Law School to get his money back, because I'm not sure what he learned in 3 years. But I will tell you this. I started apologizing to President Carter. I want to close with this. This administration has assaulted our religious liberties. It has assaulted the American dream. It's tried to redefine the American dream so that success is defined by government assistance. That's not the American dream. That's an American nightmare. And the reason I'm so passionate about this and the reason I'm so optimistic, I'm absolutely convinced our best days as a country are ahead of us, not behind us. I'm absolutely convinced that our children and grandchildren will inherit more opportunities than we inherited from our parents. And what gives me confidence is not Washington, D.C., it's not the big buildings there or our elected leaders. The genius of the Founding Fathers was to trust the American people. Several decades ago, my parents, they reached this great country with the conviction that if you worked hard, that you could create a better quality of life. They weren't looking for a government handout. They weren't looking for a government assistance. They were looking for the opportunity to get a good job. My dad literally went through the yellow pages calling company after company until he could finally convince somebody to hire him. Tells his new boss, after hours and hours of calling, tells his new boss, who offers him a job Monday morning, says, "That's great. I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a car. You're going to have to pick me up on the way to work Monday morning." Starts work that Monday. 6 months later, I'm born. I was what you'd call a pre-existing condition. Now, there was no Obamacare or anything like that. There were two guys that shook hands in the hospital. I want you to think about this. My dad shook hands with a doctor, and he said to that doctor, "I'm going to pay you in full. I'm going to pay every month as much as I can until I pay this bill in full." And that's exactly what they did. No contracts, no paperwork, no government program, just two guys in a hospital in Baton Rouge shaking hands. I've asked my dad, I don't know if you could pay for a baby on layaway today. I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, if you skip a payment, they repossess the baby. He said, no, you're paid for. Don't worry about it. But my dad would always tell my brother and me this. He'd say, "Sons, I'm not leaving you a famous last name. I'm not leaving you an inheritance, but I'm going to make sure you get a great education." Because he said, if you're willing to work hard in this great country, there's no limit to what you can accomplish, no limit to what you can do. And that is why we must fight so hard for the poor kids in Louisiana and across the country for school choice. That's why we must fight so hard for religious liberty, not only for the Robertsons and the Greens, but for you and me. That's why we've got to fight so hard to restore the American dream. The American dream is not about government programs. It's about pursuing those opportunities, and there's a rebellion brewing in these United States of America.